Changeover coming in, Dan Dibley, Mark Willard, and look, Deshaun Watson gets popped for 11 games, and right under this tweet from Jake Trotter, Calvin Ridley still suspended for 17 games. Watson gets 11. That is just, it's just ass backwards.
I'm not defending it. But for the Ridley thing specifically, when you're in bed with the gambling companies the way that they are, like, again, that suspension is because of you have to keep the integrity of the gambling and the lines and all that. I'm not defending the Deshaun Watson. The Deshaun Watson thing makes no sense to me. $5 million? Like that, I don't get where they even come up with that number.
I mean, comparing.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's additional money that will be donated to bring the total, I think, more like closer to $17 million, but toward victims of this sort of crime. Can you even say crime when he wasn't criminally charged?
Yeah,
the whole thing's a mess.
It is a mess.
I don't think we can. We'll go crazy comparing this suspension to that suspension. Tom Brady got 4 games for deflating balls, so it's it's always gonna. It's never going to make sense, but there's no doubt that based on everything we've said, everything we know, everything we think, this is a win for Deshaun. This is absolutely a win for Deshaun Watson today.
Is it a win for Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, yeah,
that's a good question.
That is the question now for us here, which is that this feels kind of like a tweener. This is like 11 games is more than half the year. I think it's too many games to think that Jacoby Brissett can keep you in the season.
I agree.
But it's maybe not enough games to think we want to go get Jimmy Garoppolo, because how awkward would Jimmy, Jacoby, and Deshaun be week 12?
More awkward than
what is
right
that quarterback room, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know what this means.
Jimmy used to be boys out in New England.
Right, yeah.
Right.
You got that one.
They could be like, look, we're backups together again. Woo! Yay! So I don't know.
Cleveland, Carolina, Jets, Pittsburgh, Atlanta. Their schedule's not that bad.
The first game he'll be back, Kyle found this, would be the Houston game, which is about as perfect as it gets.
Are you kidding?
The NFL
do that?
The NFL is
always.
The NFL is amazing.
It's a show.
And isn't Baker
It's
playing
a show.
next
It's
week
at
one?
Houston. It's at Houston.
And we
December
talk about
4th.
the integrity as it pertains to Calvin Ridley. We want the integrity of the game preserved, yet, at every turn, there is no integrity. And that's why it's a joke that he gets a year, and this guy who, and you look at the details of what he allegedly did
they're bad.
with his anatomy, it's beyond bad. It's disgusting, and it happened more than 24, maybe 3 dozen times. And we got to haggle to see how long this guy's going to be out.
The NFL.
And he didn't serve a suspension last year. That's the thing. He chose, quote unquote, to sit out. Whether that was the team or whatever. He still got paid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The whole thing
WWE
is slimy.
/ NFL. The fact that that blows me away. His first game back will be in Houston.
What a coincidence.
Yep. That is unbelievable.
And by the way,
week 1, they play Baker Mayfield.
I know, Carolina,
Right, but from Deshaun's perspective, Bonte, to your point, how many times did we hear it could be a year, but it could also be 12 games?
Right.
It could be a year, it could also be 12. And all of a sudden, it's 11.
It's 11.
And they play Houston in the 12th.
In the 12th game.
Right.
That is...
Yes.
blown away.
Do I believe that that's part of the theater? Yes.
The NFL.
It's an entertainment vehicle.
And you know what? We're all suckers. We'll all be watching it.
Can't wait.
Of course. Tyreek Hill, we haven't blinked.
Fantasy draft on Sunday.
Yeah, and we talk about the integrity.
Too early.
The guy's going to be suspended, and yet he's able to play preseason. He's able to start on Friday, even though he's going to get bagged for at least half a year, maybe 3 quarters. But because of the the due diligence and the due process and all the rest of it, go ahead and we're going to trot you out here and play, even though we all know what he did with all these different masseuses. It's disgusting.
It's brutal. I will say this, because now that he's suspended, he can't be with the team and he can't practice. So eligible to come start week 12 or week 13
against. There might be
against.
An ease-in period.
Maybe. Like, I just thought of that. Like, this guy will have had relatively no time with the team whatsoever, and who knows what they're going to be, who's going to be injured by then, who's going to be available, what his running game looks like. Maybe they do. Maybe
he's playing, and when he comes back, I
don't know.
I don't know.
It's the Cleveland Browns. And they paid a lot of money for Deshaun Watson.
Not this year.
Not this year. I get it. Not this year.
What if you
for next year?
What if you acquire Jimmy and you're 7-4?
Here we go again. Welcome to San Francisco's problems. Now what do you do?
What do you do? That's an entirely different conversation.
9-2. You look for a trade
and if the
Deshaun?
Niners are 6-5, oh my gosh, the NFL, man. By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, kgmz-fm, and AC1 San Francisco, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And don't forget that you can also watch us every day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log on and search 95.7 The Game. Jimmy. Is this the time to go trade for Jimmy? I mean, it feels like that's the only landing spot left. And I've always believed that Cleveland, Jimmy,
for a
in
trade.
that weather, before a trade,
well,
for a quick fix.
Gosh, okay, there's a couple
things. If I'm
things
Jimmy,
here.
I'm banging on the door saying send me to Cleveland because they do have a Super Bowl type of roster.
I
They're
agree
loaded.
with you. That's why I've thought Cleveland all along is that it makes sense to all the parties involved because Jimmy, that's his best spot to audition for wherever he's going to be the year following. But this is fewer games than I really thought that where this was going to end.
It's double the original one, though.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be at least 15. I mean, for a while, I thought it was going to be the whole year. So maybe this changes the calculus. I do think there are other teams who would definitely pick up Jimmy. I don't know how many would trade for him. I mean, the Seahawks are probably off the table for a trade. And then there's just other lurking stuff out there. Two teams that I would just say just kind of keep an eye on.
Houston?
No, I'm more thinking the New York Giants.
Okay.
Who don't like Daniel Jones, and now they're starting to go, well, what about Tyrod Taylor?
Boy.
Yeah, so there's that situation. And then with like 49ers East is essentially being established in Miami. And
they're going to do that to Tua?
Look, I think they want to be ready.
That's true.
I think they want to be ready. Their quarterbacks threw 6 picks in practice yesterday.
Oh, God. Here we go. Miss me with 6 picks in practice. Jimmy G threw 5 picks in Denver last year in practice, and they went to the NFC Championship.
I understand that, but
2019.
We all agreed that practice stats are not to be taken in any way.
It's not the first time we've heard that rumor, and you're dealing with a head coach that's been working with Jimmy for the last 5 years.
Right.
And ran
from him. Couldn't wait to get out of town.
No, come on.
I don't think you're going to give up on Tua just yet.
No, but you might want to bring in a backup.
Such a great week.
If you
the 5 interception practice, that was a great week of radio.
You know,
that was unbelievable.
I can't.
Guru had to go on Instagram. Get off my timeline. Stay off my timeline. That was unbelievable.
You know what they call it on the internet in Miami? Because we have this whole Jimmy thing here.
My gosh.
They call it Tuanon. I'm dead serious. It's a great name, isn't it?
That is good.
When there are
Stay off of my timeline.
That week was unbelievable.
And non-Tua truthers.
I got caught up with
Tuanon. That's great, isn't it?
It is really good, and I just can't imagine they pull the plug on it that soon. I think New York's an interesting one because
Atlanta?
Danny Dimes is terrible.
Yeah,
and I still think Seattle is going to be the post-cut prime destination.
Yeah, that's possible. But again, Miami, I'm not saying pull the plug. You're not pulling the plug. You're A, getting yourself ready for multiple scenarios, and B, you do sometimes want to send a message to players, like it's time to play.
Yeah.
Or else we've got another option.
Sending a message to your receivers, sorry guys, don't expect the ball more than 12 yards. You have weapons up the wall. You have the fastest receiver in football.
Right.
You've got multiple deep threats.
Have you looked at Debo's numbers last year? Like
it was all yak. He led the league in yak.
And that's what Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle would do with Jimmy.
They would.
I mean, come on.
Though.
This is the same coach. They know what they're doing.
A lot of smoke screens, a lot of slants, a lot of hitches, a lot of speed on that
Tyreek
field.
would love it. He'd just be like, get the ball in my hands faster. Give it to me here.
Is Jimmy an upgrade over Tua?
I'm not sure.
We don't know about Tua yet.
I don't know.
That's reason enough to not make them.
Yes. I think right now, yes. But maybe by the year's end, they're thinking Tua's better. I would lean Jimmy.
Something's up with Tua because when he first hit the scene with Alabama in that national championship game, and he threw one of the best spirals I've ever seen in my life from a lefty, I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Then he lit it up the next year. Then I watched him at Levi's against Clemson, and he just started throwing like,
the hip.
It was the hip,
horrible
but it
injury.
just feels like he hasn't been right since. When he throws the ball, it just looks like a medicine ball.
He had a Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson's career was over. Same injury.
Yeah.
Tua's not the athlete he was.
And he had the ankle injury. He had the ankle injury.
The hip, bro. Like that. I don't know. Like for a thrower.
Exactly. I think it's a major issue, and plus he throws with the wrong arm, guys. I mean, Steve Young. Okay, and then
it's Stabler. And
you're
Michael
thanking the
Vick.
snake.
Yeah.
Bonte Hill. Come on, relax.
Okay, first of all,
Chris Mullen, lefty shooter.
Can I tell you something?
Okay, now basketball,
throwing ability.
Exactly.
It's all right.
I'm teasing.
I didn't know you were a lefty.
am.
Are you lefty?
It's so ugly, you think he's a right.
Yeah, that explains
Get
a
buckets,
lot.
though. Hey, listen. Hey, Miami, though. Miami, Jimmy Garoppolo down in South Beach.
I mean,
You want to talk about ghosting an
Cleveland,
organization?
Miami. Cleveland, Miami.
If you're
what?
Porn star Jimmy.
if you're Don Yee, you're thinking about this stuff.
Yep.
New York, Miami versus Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
It's a part of the conversation.
So was Deshaun.
I just don't know.
Then 240 came his way.
If you're Don Yee, you're calling Goodell earlier in the week and saying, dude, give him the whole year. Do me a favor.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just bag it for the year. But as soon as they went into a negotiation sensation, you knew it wouldn't be a full year. Because they started at 6, and then the league wants a year. Just let's meet in the middle. 11 games. We'll see you in December.
What about this consideration sensation?
Oh, look
a little
at you.
too early in the season or too much of a workload recently for Camilo to consider, maybe bringing him in some of those situations.
It's worth consideration. I mean, I think everything is.
For like 4 outs, not for like a 6 outs.
I think anything is worth consideration and is being considered.
Tonight specifically, what went into that consideration with Camilo potentially coming in with 2 outs and second and third in the 8th?
It was a consideration, and it was one of those things where we need to have confidence with everybody in our bullpen. Like Camilo Doval cannot handle the load for the entire bullpen all the time. We have to have everybody contribute, and we trust these guys to do so.
How many times was the word consideration
6
said?
times? No, 6 because the first question had it in there.
Yeah.
So 6 times
No,
in
so did
36
the
seconds.
third question.
Yeah, I had 7. I've got 7.
Oh my God. I had 6.
Listen, look,
I need to consider the cut again before I go.
I've got Comcast business text line coming down my road. 408. Your negativity, Bonte, is getting real tired. I'm just tired of watching this baseball team. It's the same thing every other day. There's 2 errors. There's misplays in the outfield. There's bad bullpenning. There's bad hitting.
2 errors.
And Shasky's, it's weird how Shasky so much. He's like, well, Bonte, they're 2 games over 500. That's where we're at with this team. You compare that to watching Brewers, Dodgers, or Rays, Yankees, and I'm like, man, that's baseball. And I watch this team, and it depresses me deeply. The more the show goes on, the more painful it gets to talking about this baseball team.
Well, it's who they are this year, and last year was a fluke, and Mark and I can fight about it for the next 3 hours.
I'm with you. It was a fluke.
Well, I only say that because Mark, that triggers Mark big time.
Well, I'm not trying to trigger Mark.
You know what? Ref's an mistake.
There you go. No, you're right. And I thought, who up last night? Oh, that's right. You didn't notice because he did a bang-up job.
Terrible.
Actually,
you did not watch the game. He was so bad.
He
was so bad.
He was very consistent.
It was bad.
He was awful.
It was bad.
Ump scorecards.
No, there's a better one. It's called I'm Here to See the Umps.
Oh, no.
And it's all about umps showcasing themselves. It's incredible. There was one judge got a strike right down the middle, and the guy calls it a ball. Judge goes, that was a strike. Judge says it to the umpire. It was great. It's great.
There's a big article in the ESPN today about how umps are hurt because people think that they're not held accountable, and they are held accountable. So I encourage all of you to Google it, do the homework. But yeah, last year, Flukosaurus Rex, the whole rest of it. This year, this is the team who they are. But you know what? Because of the cockamamie format, they are right in the mix.
Gosh, it drives me insane.
Yeah, me too.
Why did baseball do this?
You know what I want them to do? Go on a run.
The fans
want
don't
us to
believe
keep
it.
talking about it. They want us to still care about a mediocre team.
You got surprised by the tone that I was taking when you got back from your vacation, and I told you it's because until their bullpen looks good, that's when I'll believe that they've got a chance over this next month and a half.
I swear.
And last night, look, you can't ask the bullpen to be perfect every single night,
right?
But I came in with this. I told Dibs right away.
I saw it coming a mile away.
Listen, I've talked to already 5 people who are like, Kapler this, Kapler that after the game last night. I'm like, you know what? I want to be a reliever. When I grow up, I want to be a reliever. Think about it.
Still time.
Half the time when you show up to work, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
When you do have to work, there's never any overtime.
Yeah.
And when you mess up, it's your boss's fault every single time.
Every time.
Think of what
No
you're
execution.
gonna
You gotta work about 20 minutes a night.
When are we going to ask the relievers to get outs instead of getting mad at Gabe for who he put in?
No, you're right.
There's no option.
Right.
They're like, Dom Leone, who did you want to put in?
Right.
Yeah.
I know you can't
Rogers?
put in
If
Rogers.
What did you want to do?
Bullpen ERA is
Exactly.
a point and a half higher than last year.
So,
And last year
facts.
wasn't a fluke. 162
I know
games
what
is
you mean. I
never
know
a
what you
fluke.
mean. But they outperformed what their
yes,
normal
and this team this
expectations would
year,
be.
this is about what this team really really essentially is. You score 2 runs against Arizona. Come on,
I know.
Like
2
you're
runs.
saying, Dodgers, Brewers, Yankees with a walk-off slam from Josh Donaldson. The Giants don't have enough punch to avoid having a bad bullpen derail
It's not just that. Then Yaz gets thrown. He comes in specifically to pinch run, and he gets. That is like Little League. You would get benched in Little League,
Eric
and they
Tepley.
go, "Come sit down next to me." You can't.
My dad pinch ran for me twice in the Marin County Championship game. We had to beat this team twice. Drew Miller, the lefty. I was slow, short, fat, and slow. Dad pinch runs for me. Eric Tepley picked off. We win, so now we play him again in the afternoon.
Goodness.
And Drew's out there again in relief. I get on, of course, punchy little hitter as I am. Singles only, by the way, singles only. And Tepley in for me again, picked off a second time.
Twice.
Wow, you'd be a perfect Giant.
Yeah.
You can find your way on base, and then you need a pinch runner. You can't move.
And they asked me yesterday at like 7:30, "What's wrong with your face?" Because I'm watching this team and I'm like getting disgusted. She goes, "Why does your face look like that?" And I'm just like, "This team's just annoying. They annoy me." Yaz gets picked off in
really
second.
annoy
They really annoy me.
They're
driving me crazy. Willard, they're driving me insane, dude.
But baseball is annoying. Like
Thank you.
go back to 2010.
7 out of 10 times.
Yeah, I know.
Vontae, they won the World Series and we nicknamed them Torture.
Thank
like
you.
that's baseball.
But at least they have players.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like this team,
Listen,
I'm watching Slater at center field.
They're not a great team.
They're not a great team, man.
And then Belt at first. I feel bad for him at this point. No, because I see everyone crush him. I've been an anti-Belt for a decade. At this point, I feel bad for him. I do.
Belt got to my girl Christy last night. We're sitting there watching it just because he grounded out and she just goes, "This guy sucks." I'm like, you know when it gets to the people who are only halfway in, you're like, "Oh gosh, man, this is getting tough."
Dude, football can't come soon enough, man. I'm telling you, football can't come soon enough. And you got the Warriors 43 days away from their trip to Japan. I may be watching preseason basketball. I've never watched preseason basketball.
Come on, man.
Oh, you're definitely watching this year. You got to get locked in.
What are you talking about?
Hang in there. Don't do win-loss with the Warriors schedule.
I never do that.
You still got action.
The Warriors Invitational
he's
starts in
already
April.
run through the calendar on the days where he's going to have conflicting things.
Tomorrow, Bonte, it's okay. You've been back for 4 days.
I know.
Tomorrow, you're going to have the Jimmy to Cleveland trade to talk about.
Thank God.
So that'll get you to the weekend.
Would you be if that went down?
I need him traded anywhere. I'm starving.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take bacon, by the way. I'll take bacon.
I'll take chorizo.
We were about to fight yesterday from 7 to 8 o'clock talking about the Jimmy Pick reports. No, he hates Jimmy Garoppolo. He just won't admit it. But this stuff just drives me crazy.
Wow.
Jimmy, he does hate Jimmy. He hates him.
You're calling them fake reports. I get that you don't like the reports, but they're not fake.
No. They're
not fake.
No.
Here's my issue with the reports.
No.
Here's my issue with the reports. We rip Michael Silver and Chris Sims all the time.
But I don't.
And all of a sudden, since it fits their narrative, Chris Sims said this. You think Chris Sims is sitting on information like that for 4 years?
I think the media thinks that they weren't sitting on this, that they've said it all along, and we never just really we all kind of took it as a joke.
Funny.
Yeah, George Kittle. Oh, he's a bad texter. We're like, ha 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 ha. Like I never knew that it was that bad with coaches who had to go knock on the door. Did you ever know that? I think the media thought that we knew that.
I don't know if I believe that.
I mean, look,
whatever. They called Jimmy to refute the report, but he didn't answer.
I'm still waiting.
Thank you.
Still waiting.
I just set that up myself.
Low-hanging fruit. It was good.
You have had like 15 great one-liners in this segment.
Shoot. I love the changeover.
Dude, it's incredible.
This is my favorite.
Listen, I will say, gosh, it's quiet, isn't it? On the Jimmy front?
Man, too quiet.
They got to know something.
Too quiet.
They got to know real quiet. Who, by the way, I thought was going to win the Triple Crown.
Couldn't get it done in the Belmont.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, what was the cartoon we all watched for Shaggy? Come on.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. A little too quiet. Like, that's all I'm thinking about. And then they're going to rip the face off.
Because Fred and Velma were in the machine.
Jimmy will be like, we would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you stupid radio hosts.
I wonder, though, does Mike McDaniel really want Jimmy after seeing Jimmy over the last 5 years?
If he does,
we know
that's a
Robert Saleh doesn't
fireable
want him.
offense. Yeah.
It's a fireable offense.
Yes.
Well,
damn.
Guess what? Sean Payton already has dibs on that job for 2023.
I mean,
so it works out perfectly.
The Dallas job, right?
I know.
No, I heard that the reason that they are taking away draft picks from the Miami Dolphins is because they tampered on a boat with Tom Brady and Sean Payton, who both represented by
Don Yee.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don Yee's had a banner offseason.
Big year for Yee.
Big year.
Big year.
I'm so sick of him.
You don't even know. Do you even know what he looks like? If he were standing here,
you know why? Because I googled his client portfolio on his website,
I don't even know what he looks
and so
like.
they have like a whole little like about him. He had 4 clients.
Let me get a Don Yee in
Jimmy,
here.
Tom Brady, Sean Payton, and there was one other.
Damn good clients.
You got Yee envies, what you have.
Hey, those are some damn good clients, though.
Good looking man.
It's a
Yee
good
fatigue.
portfolio.
He's from the Bay, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great portfolio,
It's a
though.
great
Brady,
portfolio.
Garoppolo. He got
Yeah.
Garoppolo 137.
Yeah, he did.
He can afford a house
And he
in the
got
Bay.
the Dolphins fined.
Yeah.
And he got the Dolphins fine.
You know?
And he's got Sean Payton.
He could even afford parking at a Giants game.
Damn, boy.
He's doing good.
Yeah,
Damn.
that hurt.
You know the Giants are doing bad when Willard's taking shots like that.
Seriously.
Well, no, I'm not taking a shot at the Giants. I'm taking
This
a
is the
shot at
happiest you've been in months.
I mean,
What?
He's like, Willard's
No, I'm not
outside.
happy.
No.
I'm not happy. I want this
I'm-
baseball season to end. They're mediocre. Why do you keep leading us? Just like,
Oh, that's a weird take.
Like, no, it's
That's a
no,
weird
it's,
take.
It's I just
Like,
want it to
I
end for
want
the
to
Giants.
You want
Son?
sports to end?
Yeah.
No, I want the Giants
like-
season to end. I want them to be done.
Nah, that's a
I
weird
want them to
take.
be done.
That's a weird take.
Let's get to the
Play
offseason,
spoiler.
please.
That's a weird
Let's
take.
say they sneak in, hypothetically.
Oh, my gosh.
And they take out the Dodgers.
Hypotheticals.
You wouldn't lose your mind over that? Even if they lost in the very next round.
I'm not even going to go there.
We
Imagine
celebrate
what you
Joe
just said.
Morgan knocking out the
That's
Dodgers.
just, well, we weren't born
Yes.
yet, Shasky. When that happened.
It's still one of the great Giants
You guys-
moments.
Dibley was in high school.
Yeah, I was in like my 7th year of college in 82. Oh, boy. That thing just kept going. 13
Wilder.
years, 3 schools.
Look, the
Got it
Niners
done.
last year, they didn't win it all.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I have faith in the Niners, though. It was a lot of fun with them not winning it all. Because, you know, everybody was doom and gloom. But I said, hey, let me not go there either. Not go there either.
Now call your own play.
No,
Blow
I'm
your own
not going
horn,
to do
toot,
it.
toot,
Not
as
going to
Guru
do
would
it.
say.
Not going to dust off my
Giants
shoulders.
6% chance of making the offs.
Six?
Oh,
Go
down
down
from
to
7.7.
7. Oh,
Fan
that's a
grabs.
tough
Down
loss.
from 7.7.
Still
Yeah.
a little less than the Warriors' chance of beating the Celtics in the finals.
That's right. Wow.
They were
That's a
more
good call.
athletic.
Yeah.
They were
That's a good
deeper
call.
1 through 15.
That's
What
a
were
good
they,
call.
But better than a chance of Johnny Cueto getting a hit. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys want to hear statements from the Browns and Deshaun Watson?
Please, because I was going to ask you what was
Last time
coming
the
up
Browns
next.
came up with a statement, they talked about how everybody was triggered by all of this, which was the worst PR statement
Yeah.
in the history of sports.
Give it to me.
All right, here's Dee and Jimmy Haslam, the owners of the Browns. Quote, as we've previously conveyed, Deshaun and his representatives have abided by the NFL and NFLPA structure, awaiting a final decision, and we have respected the process. Now that a decision on discipline has been reached, we understand this is a real opportunity to create meaningful change, and we are committed to investing in programs in Northeast Ohio that will educate our youth regarding awareness, understanding, and most importantly, prevention of sexual misconduct and the many underlying causes of such behavior. Since Deshaun entered our building, he has been an outstanding member of our organization and shown a true dedication to working on himself both on and off the field. We will continue to support him as he focuses on earning the trust of our community.
I believe in second chances. I'm a product of second, third, fourth, fifth chances. But boy, this would be very hard. If I was a Browns fan, I would really struggle with this. I really would. I don't know how I would proceed as a Browns fan. Could you be a Browns fan right now?
I always feel like this puts fans in an unfair spot.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
It is
but
unfair.
you're not going to switch teams.
No, but if you're a
Like,
jersey buying person
yeah.
and you're excited about your new quarterback, do you get his jersey?
No, you don't.
Or do you
no.
even get up and tell, like Ray McDonald? I'll never forget. Ray McDonald's going through his stuff, and I'm in the living room with my nieces, and 94 makes a play, and they jumped up, and I was like, oh boy. This finally hit home. Like, now I get it. Like, this is awkward, and I don't want them rooting for someone like that.
We still rooted for Alden Smith.
Yeah, and that's
We rooted for Bruce Miller.
Subjective outrage is a slippery slope as we start to draw lines. And I mention Michael Jackson all the time.
I still play his music.
Of course, we have his records.
right.
R. Kelly, we can't
I'm a
even say
hypocrite.
his name, but Michael Jackson, we'll still want to
Still
be
play.
starting something and all the rest of it. So when you get into subjective outrage, it's a slippery slope.
Yes.
However, in this case, when you talk about a guy over 30 times
That's what I'm saying.
getting aroused and intentionally drive by, rubbing rubbing on masseuses time after time. This guy's a dirtbag.
You have Watson's statement?
Disgusting.
At minimum, a
Want to read Watson's
you have a
statement?
mom.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I will read Watson's statement because there's one sentence, and I wonder if you guys can point it out that really. This is what would make it tough for me to root for a team that he's quarterbacking. Quote, I'm grateful that the disciplinary process has ended and extremely appreciative of the tremendous support I've received throughout my short time with the Browns organization. I apologize once again for any pain this situation has caused. I take accountability for the decisions I made. My focus going forward is on working to become the best version of myself on and off the field and supporting my teammates however possible while I'm away from the team. I'm excited about what the future holds for me in Cleveland.
Is it that last sentence?
I apologize
for the
for
pain.
any pain this situation has caused.
Yeah, the situation meaning the fact that people complained and he got caught.
You caused.
No, but that's not what he said.
Yeah, he's
Right,
he's
that's
not
saying.
taking
No,
I'm
you're right.
saying,
Yes,
this
I agree.
situation, you're still 1 degree away from saying I did anything wrong.
Well, the situation is he got caught and he got suspended and now he can't quarterback the team. That's what he's referring to as the situation. You're absolutely right. But nobody apologizes anymore.
No.
Point blank. It's one of the most powerful things you can do.
I agree.
We've talked about that.
Fall on the sword.
I've apologized to all three of you in
Yeah.
this room.
No
and
one's
it's not
perfect.
easy.
Yeah.
No one's perfect, and you apologize and you move on. You
Yes.
hope that your apology is accepted. But this falls short of the bar, and it's just another example of, how disappointing this is.
650 to answer your question, Mark. Big Ben, Ray Lewis.
Oh, there's
Kobe Bryant. Those are just three. Like Big Ben.
Mike
had a
Tyson.
farewell tour
Bonte,
last year.
Bonte.
Mike Tyson. Everybody loves Tyson.
Bonte, we've all rooted for guys on our team. We don't even know what they're like behind the scenes. Like Frank Gore's going through something right now. We haven't talked about it one iota. Now I'm hoping
we talked about it.
We didn't, but we're hoping it's not true. But who knows? We'll never know.
Hope it's not true.
In my mind, I'm not
Stop
a
boxing,
moralist.
Frank.
I don't pretend to be. But at the same time, I'd be lying if I didn't say, "Well, I want all my guys to be Steph Curry," knowing they're probably not.
Right.
Knowing that they're probably not.
I mean, based on the details of the Frank Gore
Yes.
incident, hard to imagine that that's made up.
Right.
And I wonder what the 49ers will do because they're supposed to, revere him this year,
Yes.
right? They're having a Frank Gore retirement ceremony of some sort.
Probably
So
will get delayed, huh?
wasn't that supposed to be in the end of the year, like one of the last home
maybe,
games,
yeah,
I think?
yeah.
So depending on, what comes out and
Yeah.
how that goes, it's just,
I don't think they've removed O.J. Simpson from the Ring of Honor for the Buffalo Bills. Now, that's one of the more severe other end of the spectrum situations, not diminishing with Frank.
Well,
He's not guilty in the court of
And
law.
that's the thing.
But that's
so
what
that's
I'm
where,
saying.
that's where we get into the Deshaun Watson
That's
thing.
what I'm saying.
He's not, 2 grand juries said there's not enough there
Which is wild.
to charge him.
Yeah.
So that there's that other side of this
Yep.
where, and Mark, you hit on it perfectly, I think. We as fans, I shouldn't have to worry about the jurisprudence
Yes.
of my athletes. I should just be able to say, that's my team, those are my guys, let's go.
And then, like, when you settle, there's not an admission of guilt, but a perception of guilt from all of us. Well, why would you settle? People that aren't, that didn't do anything, they don't settle. And we know that people settle all the time for a variety of reasons, but there's a perception. Well, if you settled, then there's an admission on some level of guilt.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because you wouldn't settle, if you had no part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you've got the money to settle.
Well,
I mean, money to settle.
Look,
I mean,
yeah, and again, I don't like putting fans in this position. It doesn't mean that you should go buy a Deshaun jersey or whatever, but it's not
uncomfortable.
It's not the fans' fault. I mean, and this is way less serious, but like Padre fans, someday you could root for Tatis again. Like it's
this is
not
my favorite player,
right? So, and every fan base does that. We're all hypocritical.
Yeah.
Where like we don't understand how could you root for this guy,
Yeah.
and then when our guy does the same thing, you're like, yeah, it's
but ours is
okay.
different.
Yeah, it's different. I
Yeah,
believe him.
you're right.
So it's not on the fans because one guy is out of control with something and a league is sort of motivated by money rather than righteousness. It's not on a fan to have to be the one that makes all the changes. Like what are you going to do? Change teams?
No, but I do think I think not that you're questioning your spending habits, but it does just it at least raises your eyebrow and makes you think a little. I think at minimum.
The minute he throws 3 touchdowns in a game, people are going to be doing this. I agree with that. We have a quarterback.
I agree with that.
Cleveland, how many quarterbacks have they gone through with the new Cleveland Browns?
So many.
Yeah, so many. They got the jersey and the names. It's like 25 different quarterbacks, 26.
I already have text messages on my phone from people in a league where we already drafted who are jockeying and discussing different trades because of this news. This is the way football fans react.
Transactional.
Your mind goes immediately to the football.
This is something that people don't want to touch, but it is true, and I wondered about this as well because when Deshaun Watson said he wanted out, and we were discussing Watson to the Niners, we were like, yo, and I believe the Niners were in on Watson until they probably found some rumblings like, yeah, we can't touch that. But the 415 makes a great point in the Comcast Business Text line. No one's bringing up the fact that the Texans made all these arrangements, and the allegations came out after he demanded a trade. And we know about the lawyers who prosecuted him being friends with Cal McNair and all that. So
the ownership group was accused, and it came out in public court that they gave template, like prearranged statements for these people to sign, or I guess settlements, for these people to sign. And it's like unheard of in sports for front offices to do that. Yes, they were, in a way, aiding and abetting, I guess is the term that you use.
And Cleveland just enabled his own comeback. By the way, they structured his contract fully guaranteed, $1 million for the first year. So as much as we want to express outrage, we have to remember that the powers that be, these two teams in particular, they don't care about the victims. So like you're saying, unless you want to fully boycott all sports, this is just the unseedy underbelly of everything.
Hey, man, good stuff today. Good stuff today. We'll be listening in the car. Willard and Dibs coming up.